Hey guys, today on Let's Talk About Prepping, we're going to start a three-part episode about EMPs and solar flares. Before I get started, I want to say that this is a complex and grave subject. I want to provide background information, and these might get a little bit lengthy. I'll provide summaries at the end of each video for those who need it, and a timestamp like this one here to help you navigate. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get into it. It can be difficult to prepare for events like solar flares and EMPs because there's a lot of mystery and not a lot of information surrounding these topics. This is partly due to the fact that electromagnetic pulses, or EMPs, are largely associated with nuclear bomb detonations, and so much of this research occurred during the 40s and 50s when that testing was being done. Similarly, solar flares, or coronal mass ejections, are somewhat rare in the form that we're concerned with today, and so research is somewhat difficult to perform. Today, we're going to look at events that can cause damage to physical objects through electromagnetic saturation. To do this, we're going to look at the basics of electromagnetic energy and electromagnetic induction. All known forms of energy fall somewhere on the EM spectrum, from radio and microwaves to visible light to X and gamma rays. EM energy can change form for a variety of reasons, including interactions with solid matter. When EM energy is absorbed or inducted by solid matter, it usually converts into light, heat, or electricity, and this is how antennae for things like radio and Bluetooth technology operate. They collect a certain wavelength of energy from the atmosphere, filter it for a certain frequency, which is then decoded for digital information, and presented to you as image or audio. This is how the modern world operates through the magic of the telecommunications network. But how does something that we use constantly become a threat? The answer, of course, is that too much of anything can become a bad thing. We exist in a constant soup of electromagnetic energy. All radio transmissions and cell phone conversations are being transmitted around and through your body at all times. Digital devices are usually somewhat protected from this electromagnetic interference within an expected range of intensity, or flux, if I understand that term correctly. If you've ever heard a car radio speaker click or make sounds because of window motors or the car ignition, then you've heard an example, albeit a small example, of electromagnetic pulse interference. Events like these cause such an intense saturation of energy, or flux, across such a wide range of wavelengths that they literally turn individual circuits and wires into antennae and then induce them with so much charge that they overload components and cause short circuit arcs across the circuitry itself, causing permanent burn damage. Now that we've re-examined some of the basics of electromagnetic energy and how it can affect the circuitry of digital devices, maybe it's a little easier to understand how powerful saturation events could actually fry out individual components and permanently damage our digital infrastructure. You can imagine how devastating this would be to our way of life, but I'm going to actually leave that for the third episode. In episode 2, we're going to discuss events that will cause electromagnetic saturation in the levels that we're talking about. So for a quick summary of today's video, we re-examined some of the basics of electromagnetic energy and the wide variety of forms that it can take, how it's inducted into solid matter, and how, with an intense concentration of energy, circuitry and wires can be charged with electricity and overloaded, causing permanent burn damage to the components. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope you'll stay tuned with Let's Talk About Prepping for next time. Be safe, everybody.